This is Anarchast.
Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Anarchast, your home for anarchy on the internet. We have another special guest coming in from Joy Camp, one of my favorite YouTube channels, hilarious group. They put out so many great things. His name's Benny Wills, and we're going to get right into things with him right after I play one of their videos so you can see what kind of stuff they do. This was a video they did on the Apple iPhone and the NSA, so we'll play that and we'll come right back.
iPhone 5 NSA is the best surveillance device to date. It is a meticulously designed tracker, recorder, and data collector. Every single government agency, authority, and police officer has been considered to make sure iPhone 5 NSA can keep you safe and protect your freedom. This care, this consideration, it extends to how we collect information pertaining to you and everyone you know. And it's what led us to create Touch ID, the largest name-to-fingerprint database in the world.
Touch ID defines the next step of how we use your iPhone. With just a touch of your home button, Touch ID reads your fingerprint so you can collect the latest apps or purchase shiny new Apple products, while we track your location through GPS and transmit data back to corporations and government.
Our employees are literally working around the clock, in some cases 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, to assemble each iPhone 5 NSA individually. And now we require all of them to sign an anti-suicide pledge to ensure our production meets the consumer's demand. And just in case that doesn't work, we've installed suicide nets all along the perimeter of our 24-to-a-room dormitories to gently catch even the most demoralized and broken down souls and safely return them to the workplace, so there's enough iPhones for you and your entire family.
iPhone 5 NSA uses speech recognition technology, so you don't have to bother yourself with remembering things or consulting your brain for any information ever again. Just ask it for the time, the day of the week, what your name is, sports scores, anything really. You can ask it anything. It puts your brain in your hand and into our database.
We've also developed what we like to call blackout technology, which allows authorities to block video and photos whenever they feel your security is in danger. For instance, if a political rally is ambushed by a conspiracy theorist demanding answers, the police can black out every phone in the crowd so his questions are never heard or seen by anyone.
Reporters, do your job, please. Ask some questions.
And once he's silenced and his coordinates are locked in, iPhone 5 NSA takes care of the rest.
Just a question, man. How are we supposed to know the truth when we can't even ask a question? It was just a question. That's all it was.
iPhone 5 NSA, aiming to put your freedom in the crosshairs.
So as you could see, really good stuff, hilarious stuff. Another one of my favorites is their Grammy Awards, I believe it was, mockery. Check them out if you haven't checked them out. But before we get into all that, Benny, I have to ask you, how did you become an anarchist?
You know, it's funny you should ask that. I guess it wasn't until very recently that I actually identified as an anarchist, and it's because of a friend of mine named Carrie Wedler, who I know you've spoken to on the show before. She also lives in LA, and we were talking about, gosh, who knows what, the police state or something, and she's like, oh, so you're an anarchist. I'm like, well, I don't really like labels, but, you know, I don't believe in government, and I think like a barter system is a better way to go, and, you know, if people need to stop paying off their debt and taxes and stop voting, and the system would change. And she's like, oh, so you're an anarchist. I'm like, all right, I'm an anarchist. But I started looking into it because I've always kind of shied away from being pigeonholed as one thing, but I guess I am, because I do identify with all the, I guess, the core principles of anarchy, but I decided to coin myself more particularly and say I'm an anarchic idealist. So that's my title for myself.
And I guess that title is because you think it'd be ideal to be in an anarchist world, but you don't know if it would work. Is that why you came up with that title?
Yeah, because I believe in the absolute best outcome, the best scenario that anarchy could provide, and not the, sort of uncertain, dangerous elements that, we could deal with, because there's so many people that don't know anything about anything.
Yeah, thanks to the government indoctrination camps and all that. It's all part of their plan.
Exactly. But I am an idealist, so I do think that I'm a very positive person, and I think that we are really seeing a shift towards the good in this world.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're actually going to be coming down to Anarchapulco this February 27th to March 1st. There's going to be a lot of great people there. So many past Anarchast guests and hundreds of other people as well. Really amazing group. So looking forward to seeing you down here. But let's talk a little bit about Joy Camp, because I really like what you guys do.
Thank you.
So when did you start that? And tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, okay. So we shot our very first video for Joy Camp in January of 2012. And it started out just as one video. We had no intentions of making it an ongoing thing. And the video was our conspiracy theorist PSA, which was based off of the old 50s propaganda ads, like the anti-marijuana ads and whatnot. And when we were doing it, we had so much fun filming it that we wanted to do more. We also realized how significant it was, and how the sort of truth movement, or whatever you want to call it, it sort of lacked a sense of humor. And we thought, well, this is not only fun, but it's also necessary towards, a broader awakening, because people are much more willing to listen when they are laughing.
Yeah, absolutely, especially when you're telling them things that go completely against what they've been programmed to believe.
Exactly.
To make them laugh is a big help, and that's actually been one of the best ways throughout history to sort of get across these sort of messages is through comedy. And so that's why it's so great what you do with Joy Camp to get that sort of a thing out there. I was actually just looking at my Chihuahua the other day, and when he was like a baby, we had a maid down here in Mexico, and my wife caught my maid hitting him with a broom once. Not super hard, but hard enough that it was not good. And so we obviously fired her. But ever since that day, whenever he sees a broom, he goes nuts. And so I was sitting there looking at him, because one of our maids here had just come out with a broom, and he was just losing his shit over it. He was just like, he didn't even know what to do. He was just so angry about it. And I thought to myself, that's sort of like talking to a lot of statists, or a lot of people who don't know what's really been going on. No matter what I say to my Chihuahua at that moment in time, there's nothing I can do that will make him get over his feelings about that broom. And that's sort of how a lot of the people are with things like 9/11 Truth. And I know you worked with Luke Radowski on that video that we just showed, and Luke's coming down to Anarchapulco as well. He's been one of the biggest 9/11 Truth people. He's done so much great work. Maybe we should talk a little bit about that. So I guess you're a truther as well?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was the thing. I mean, Kevin, who's the co-creator of Joy Camp, and we've been friends for a long time, and we started, I guess, falling down the rabbit hole around the same time, post 9/11, and we didn't know what to do with it for years. And we both have always had good senses of humor. We've always been able to laugh, and sort of, I mean, for us, just as friends, that was our way of letting off steam, was like making jokes about how ridiculous this all is. We start going down rabbit holes. I mean, gosh, the most ridiculous things come up. So we were laughing to ourselves, but then not knowing what to do with it. And trying to be activist, really trying to go to like meetings and standing on corners with signs and protesting, and it just didn't feel right for us. There's a place for it and people who do it. I mean, I tip my hat, but it didn't really feel like that was the best way that I could be contributing. So after, I think it was 8 years, we finally realized that our sense of humor could be applied directly towards a cause, and the rest is history.
Yeah, that's great. Have you ever done a Joy Camp video on 9/11?
That's actually an inside joke for us here, because that's the thing that woke us up, but we've never made a video about it. We do have a couple comments offhand in a few of the videos. In fact, one video, the only video we've ever had to take down from our YouTube channel, actually we didn't take it down, but he took it down for us, was one that had a comment about 9/11 in it.
Yeah, the best sort of funny take on 9/11, which, it's not a very funny event at all, but,
No.
we do have to laugh at these things, was James Corbett's video. I don't know if you saw that. It's the true 9/11 conspiracy theory. I don't know if you saw that one.
I may have. I'm a big fan of Corbett.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's only like 5 minutes long, and it just sort of explains how stupid the official conspiracy theory is. It just makes absolutely no sense. It's not physically possible. It's just not possible.
Yeah, come on, what a joke. I mean, at this point, it's so blatantly obvious.
So you guys haven't been putting out a lot of new videos lately, I've noticed, and you were telling me that you're working on a big project. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about what you're working on.
Oh, sure. Okay, so recently, in the past couple of years, for better or for worse, conspiracy theory in general has become more of a mainstream topic. People are more or talking more about conspiracy theories in the mainstream. So there's more of a demand for that, I think. And so here in LA, we have had some interest in our group because people see us and they say that no one else is doing what we're doing. And because we do it in such an inoffensive way, people aren't put off by it, which is one of the keys to Joy Camp, I think, and one of the reasons why we believe in it so much is because even if people don't agree necessarily with the message, they don't want to shoot us. They really, I mean, they can still laugh at it. I mean, it's great. So we have been working with a producer here in LA to produce a television show that, not necessarily for TV, but for some sort of online distribution that would actually make this our job, which would be, I mean, amazing. So we've been working on this project for the past, I want to say 10 months or maybe 9 months, developing a Joy Camp television show that hopefully we can get financial backing for and make an ongoing thing, to make a reality.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. So is your background in acting?
Yeah, it is. I was a show business kid. I was born to actor parents, grew up in LA, and have 2 degrees in acting, which I wish I didn't because I realized what a joke the university system is and the debt slavery that's involved. But yeah, I'm definitely, I was an actor before I was a Joy Camp creator.
Yeah, no, it definitely shows. Very good work, what you do. I really like it. And so any thoughts on Hollywood, since you've been living in and around it all your life? For example, let's talk about the movie American Sniper. What do you think about that?
Oh, man. I haven't watched it yet. I just can't bring myself to it.
I can't either.
I have it, and I want to watch it just so I can be able to talk about it. But I already know what it's going to be about. I mean, I know it's a military recruitment video, basically. I mean, movies like that, or like Zero Dark 30 that came out a few years ago, which was just a propaganda film. Yeah, I mean, it's really depressing to see that, and to see so many actors, like, I think they don't really realize what they're doing. To see so many ignorant actors like taking part in such propaganda, blatant propaganda, it's disheartening. Because I mean, from my experience, most actors are pretty good people. They just don't know any better, and they're blinded by their bank accounts.
Yeah. I couldn't watch that movie either. I did watch the trailer, though, just so I could see what it was kind of about. And the trailer was quite unbelievable. I can't believe they actually put it in the trailer the way they did. It was just him shooting women and kids and
Notion.
And everyone's like, woo, America. It's like, what?
America. Right.
Unbelievable.
I know.
Yeah, it's crazy. Some of my favorite people in Hollywood are people like the South Park guys. I used to see them. I used to live in Santa Monica, and they were so hilarious. We'd go out to these bars with like Paris Hilton, Tara Reid, and they'd just be like doing pranks with them and stuff and laughing at them. They're hilarious guys.
That's funny. Oh, that's good. I mean, yeah, I like those guys a lot too. I mean, the problem is when someone gets to a certain level of success, they become questionable. So, I mean, you have me on record right now saying if there's ever a point when we're successful, that we will remain, our integrity will remain intact, for sure.
Yeah, and I think it's getting easier to do that, as you're pointing out, that people are more open to what we're talking about, so we don't have to be so quiet about it anymore. Not that I was ever quiet about it, but a lot of people have been because they're worried about what everyone's going to say. But it's already, many of these things, including 9/11, it's very rare places I go where people don't know that the official story was total BS.
Right. And everybody's got a niche. And that's the thing that we really try to hone in on. I mean, everybody, no matter how asleep they may be or brainwashed or however you want to term it, there's something about the system that's getting them. Everybody's getting screwed in some way, right? And our point is, or our objective is to exploit that itch, to get them to see that that itch is not an independent thing. It's connected to a much broader problem. So in our pilot, for example, we target issues that are issues for everyone, not just conspiracy theorists. We target, NSA surveillance state and GMOs, Monsanto, prescription drugs, things like that. Things that everybody is aware of and everybody is sort of frustrated with.
Yeah, absolutely. You're going to be at Anarchapulco. We haven't even really talked about how we might get you involved one way or another, but one of the ideas I had was on Saturday night on February 28th. We're going to have a great evening. We're going to have a comedian, past Anarchast guest, Elisa Hawk. We're going to have...
I know Elisa.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we've done an interview with her before. She's great.
Oh, yeah, I think I saw that. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, she'll be here. And then we're going to have Elle Dixon, rapper. We're going to have Nima V. These are all past Anarchast guests. And then Rob Hustle, who did the Call the Cops video, which is really going viral now thanks to all the police state problems in the U.S., Ferguson and all that. So he's going to be here on the beach performing. And then Tatiana Moroz will be finishing up the night. So maybe we can get you involved in some way during that evening.
I would love to. I would love to be involved in any way I can. And for what it's worth, I mean, I'm a great speaker in front of audiences.
Okay, that's good to know. We might have a speaking spot that just opened up. I'm just still looking into it, and we're also might be having another special guest that we're just about to announce. So we've got a lot of speakers, but we're going to try to fit them all in. So I'll definitely try to fit you in on that for sure.
Or anything. Yeah, I mean, I'm down for whatever. And I also have an idea for a video that I'd like to talk to you about, maybe not in the interview, so keep more of a surprise, but I think it has serious viral potential. So we'll talk about that later.
I like that. I like viruses of that style.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so that's going to be Anarchapulco for people who are listening on the radio. It's ANARCHAPULCO.com. I have to find a way to shorten that URL or something. And it's right here on the beach behind me, February 27th to March 1st. Everyone's coming down. Luke Radowski's going to be here. James Corbett. Everyone we just mentioned is going to be here. And many, many more. It's going to be a real event. So, Benny, if there's anything else you wanted to talk about, go ahead. And if not, let us know where people can find more information on Joy Camp.
Yeah, sure. Well, first of all, I'm really excited to be a part of the Anarchapulco in a few weeks. It came out of nowhere for me, and I'm very, very excited.
We actually just had Right Said Fred just tweet that they just found out about Anarchapulco and they're really sad, but they can't make it. It's sort of funny. I guess they're too sexy for Anarchapulco.
Right, definitely too sexy for that. Yeah. No, but actually, what's cool about this situation for me is that through the work I've done with Joy Camp, that's how I've met so many people around the world now through it, and that's how I'm able to go to Anarchapulco, because of fans of Joy Camp who reached out to me, who have now become very close to me as friends, are enabling it to happen. They're paying for me to go out there, and they really want me to be a part of it, so it's an honor. Okay, so Joy Camp. To find us, you have several options. There's www.thejoycamp.com. We wish it was just joycamp.com, but when we started this whole operation, the was the only way that we could get it done. So it's called thejoycamp.com, or you can go to youtube.com/thejoycamp. We also have a Facebook page, which is Joy Camp. And feel free to friend me on Facebook or whatever. Please spread the word, share our videos. I mean, every view counts and every subscriber counts, and it really gives us the fuel to keep going. And like I said, I mean, if you ever have issues posting things on your Facebook wall or anything, and you receive backlash, try sending a Joy Camp video up there, because people don't really have negative reactions. People are in our experience, people are very open to watching comedic videos about controversial subjects.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's how you can change the world. Just like and subscribe to a lot of these things. Like and subscribe to our channel here. Share whatever you can on your Facebook wall or wherever you can on your own blog. That's how we really get these ideas out there, and that's all we really need to do is get these ideas out there. And once enough people know them, the world will change quite a bit for the better. So keep up the great work. Thank you, Benny Wills.
Hey, thank you, Jeff.
And we'll see you in a couple of weeks. So that's it for Anarchast, your home for anarchy on the internet. Peace, love, and anarchy.
This is Anarchast.